Hey guys, Coach Bricks here. I want to talk about this important thing. Okay, and I think why I'm so, bent on trying to get people to get back to being human again, um, and how to heal properly. Okay, and that's why I'm so big into, what I'm trying to study right now with our DNA and how it can help us heal the way God intended us to, and how to mitigate a lot of stuff. But this is one of the first steps, and I think it's very, very important that we miss. Okay, because we're not told this. The number one thing and the only thing that the human body knows is what? And I ask my kids this all the time, and nobody has any clue. The majority of people who've never heard me speak on this is survival. That's it. It only knows how to survive. It's all it does every single day. It figures a way to survive. You could do everything wrong to it, and your body's going to try to figure out how to survive. Okay, that's all it does. Off of survival, there's two branches that come off. And this is it. It heals and it adapts to what you give it. So it heals in a way that it feels it should heal and the way that you feed it. And I'm not just talking about food, but the way your thought process is, the way you allow your spirituality to come into play. So it's going to heal the way that you allow, the way you think. Okay. Most people think negative. When I get sick, oh, poor me. Oh, this and that. I need to take this kind of medicine. I need to take this over because people think like that. I'm thinking like, I'm not sick. I'm not going to get that. And people say, oh, that's crazy. There's no way you can think like that and get over an illness. There's many ways. You can talk to many people who have done it. Okay. Is it easy? No. It's a very difficult thought process because you have something going on that's trying to attack you and it's fighting against you. So, how it heals and then how you adapt. Okay. The adaptation process. So, think about this. If I took you, say you live in the Northeast, not even the Northeast, let's go the Midwest, upper Midwest, right? And all of a sudden now you're now moving to Florida or a southern state. Okay, South Carolina, Florida, something to that effect, Arizona, southern Arizona, right? So you're going from this climate where you had very, very cold winters, okay, to mild winters, if not warm winters, okay, in certain areas, to very hot, okay, in the summer and stuff. If I moved there for a couple of years, my body would eventually adapt to that climate. Okay. First year might be a struggle. Man, it's really hot down here. Okay. It's beautiful in the winter, but man, summer's really tough. Those are the kind of things. So my body eventually adapts. It adapts to all that kind of stuff, but it all based on one thing. It comes up to survival. How does my body survive? It has to adapt and it has to heal. That's it. Once you understand that and actually block everything else out, you can understand how to heal yourself. That's the most amazing thing. And I don't care if you have cancer, Parkinson's, whatever. You can start to learn how to heal yourself. See, that cancer that everybody calls is a horrible thing is a healing process. Now, you'll call it a disease or whatever, but it's a healing process. It's your body's take on what I need to do. Now, you can say, Dave, I did everything right. I ate this, I did this, and I still got this. You have to look deeper than that. That's the problem. Yes. Do you start there? Yes, but then you have to dive deeper. Okay, what kind of cosmetics do you wear? Well, I wear this. Oh, okay. Do you wear sunscreen all the time? Well, okay. Do you know your environment that you're living in? Do you drink the tap water? Well, yeah. All those things. You could do everything else right, but guess what? Unfortunately, in today's society, we have so many chemicals that are pumped in through, okay, on purpose, many of them. Okay, as you see in our food, all the crap that they put in there, to our water supply, to the air, all that stuff, to some things that we don't even know. I think the study came out last year, the year before, that there was all these types of sunscreen lotion that were cancerous. I could have told you that 10 years ago. A sunscreen lotion was like that. Okay. You put all these chemicals in there. You don't think there's going to be a reaction to the human body? And that's what I'm trying to understand. I want people to understand their body, understand how God created us. He didn't create us with all this crap in it. We done that. Now, what he's done phenomenally, he understood, is that we have a detoxification process to get rid of that stuff. Now, sometimes the detoxification process doesn't work because of our modern society. There's so many freaking chemicals that our DNA was not built for all this stuff. So we have to do everything we can then to help it out. And that's through these processes that I call healing and adapting and us understanding these things. And that's why I'm so passionate about getting you to understand the survival process that the body is constantly trying to survive. There's many theories out there that a lot of your cancer cells are not actually cancerous, are not actually bad for you. It's actually the body taking in all the bad stuff and forming what we would call, I don't know, tumor or whatever over top of it to bind those things up, to keep them from escaping and going into the body. So that's actually a good thing. And then once we start messing around with it, that's when we run into problems. Okay. So that's what we have to start to understand. The human body is phenomenal. It does all this stuff, and we freaking try to destroy it as bad as we possibly can with the stuff we eat, the stuff we do, all this kind of stuff. And that's where we have to look at it. But you have to go back to the root. And that's what I want you to start to understand. And this whole process is survival. That's all the body knows. Healing and adapting, healing and adapting. Once you understand those two things, you can start to figure so many things out that you don't need to run to the store, right, to get some medication because, oh, I feel sick with the cold, or I need to get a shot to prevent something from happening. Okay, what's going to happen to you? If your body doesn't have this crap in it, it can't get diseased. And I don't care what any doctor says. I know there's a lot of people that, talk to me and think I'm crazy in this respect. But your body was created by God. If he wanted you to have a doctor right off the bat, that's what he would have done. He would have said, hey, I'm going to make all these flaws in you, so you're going to have to go see this. No, he made it if you live the way you're supposed to live as humans. Get outside. Okay, get away. Get away from all the stresses. The body was never meant for all the stress that we have on. So we've done this to ourselves with all this technology, with all this stuff that we think is making life easier is actually probably putting more stress on us. Our bodies have so much stress that we're inundated with that it's hard for the body to detox it because it's constantly under attack. Okay. And that's what we have to start looking at. How can I de-stress? How can I get out of some of this stuff? And if you're not willing to do it, okay, well, then that's on you. Okay, I'm trying to tell you the easiest way and the simplest way is to start thinking more of humans. Go back to how humans lived, okay, in a much primitive, much more simplistic lifestyle. We don't want to live like that because that's uncomfortable. That is uncomfortable. When I talk about that another thing, that's uncomfortable. And people don't want that. They want their nice house, their nice bed, their nice car, with all the money they can possibly get. Okay. They want that. But in return, to get that many times is guess what? It's stressful. All this stuff that's pumped in through our internets and things like that, the frequencies and things, they're not good. Not good at all. Okay. They're not good on the body. So how do I get rid of this stuff? You have to do certain things. And that's what, when I talk about understanding your DNA and get healthy, that's what I want people to get back to. I want people to get healthy the natural way. So I keep pushing it. So I'm such a believer into this. And that's why I'm not a huge AI person that so many people have jumped on the bandwagon because they think it's making life easier. It's destroying you. Yes. Does it take away some of the stuff? Yes. I had a guy come out and talk to me about, well, if I could have AI write this for me, a presentation only takes 5 to 10 minutes of AI, it frees up, it takes me 2 hours, it frees up an hour and 45 minutes, hour and 50 minutes. Okay, but what are you going to do during that time? Are you actually going to heal? Are you going to do the things? Most people don't. They just add more stress in. And sitting there doing nothing is actually stressful on the human body. That's not it at all, because I talk about this in a lot of my other talks. Movement is what the human body loves. The human body loves to move. Okay? It just does. It's why my hands constantly move when I talk. It's why I usually don't like to stand still because my body doesn't like to stand still. Even when I'm talking here, I kind of move back and forth. People say, well, you're anxious, you're ADHD, you're up. No, that's not it. That's the human body. Sorry. We try to classify that so we can pop a pill into your mouth. Okay. But that's not it at all. It's your body's ability to constantly want to move. It just does. It's just what it likes to do. That's why we were designed with two legs. Get from point A to point B, right? That's called walking. That's how we get there. That's how humans have done it throughout all of history. My kids say, well, I need to get here. I'm like, we'll start walking. You know what I mean? Now, if it's a little far, we'll drive. Okay. But a lot of times I'm like, just start walking. That's what God gave you for it. That was the original means of transportation. How can you beat that? You know, but we changed that. So remember, survival is what the body knows. That's it. Once you understand that it heals and adapts, you can figure out almost everything out there that you need to fix. Not saying it's easy, okay? Because I constantly read on things. People don't want to do that. Like I said, if it's not making them money for most people, people don't want to do it. They only want to extract something, okay? My goal for you is to get you to live a great lifestyle, okay? Healthy. Didn't say it was going to be all comfortable the whole time getting there. See, that's where people then they'll turn it off. No, I don't want to listen to them anymore because you're soft. And that's why I talked about softness 20 some years ago, that we become soft as a society. You have to understand that's not how the human body was meant. It was meant to be pushed, meant to be stressed. Understanding how to get rid of those stresses, there are ways, not just vacations all the time. Okay, vacations can help from your everyday lifestyle, but it's also de-stressing you um, in your everyday. How do you do it every day? You can't, if you can go on vacation every day, great. Go do it. If you can't, how do I get it out? Exercise is one. And not all exercise is the same. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to talk about this too. Some of the exercise you could be doing could be actually leading to more stress and cellular degeneration, and you're causing all kind of issues too. So I'll talk about that at another point. But you have to understand how to detox a lot of this stuff. And there's ways to do it, but you have to understand survival, heal, and adapt. Get those down, start to understand them. I can go into more if you want. You have to let me know. But that's the basis of the human being. That's it. Get that. Understand it. Spiritually, mentally, physically, heal, adapt in those two ways. Okay. And it all comes back to what God put us on this earth for, is that survival. How do I survive? With a purpose. Have yourself a blessed day and God bless you.